We bring in Mike Bresnahan, the LA Times Laker beat writer. How surprised Mike D'Antoni resigns?
You know, it was kind of surprising. I thought it might go the distance. Maybe they'd negotiate back and forth for a few weeks. But indeed, he is done with the Lakers. A lot of people in L.A. not disappointed to see that.
Who initiated this?
D'Antoni, for sure. I think he felt uncomfortable coming back next season, especially with Powell. If he returns and Kobe not in his corner, well, I mean, he's probably thinking, okay, I'm going to get $4 million next season, but it's going to be pretty aggravating. I know you could handle $4 million in aggravation. I could handle $4 million in aggravation, but I think Mike just decided he wasn't really up to that and pushed for that second-year option 2 years from now for about $4 million more. And the Lakers said no, and here we are. They don't have a coach.
How big a mess is this?
You know, it's pretty messy. I mean, it's like the city of L.A. hasn't been tortured enough over the last week with the Sterling stuff, and now they have a coach search coming up. It's kind of like March Madness for this coach search, by the way, Dan. I mean, it could be anybody. The Lakers say it's going to be a wide-open thing. I don't see a hot college coach prospect. That might be the only thing I would discount right now. But the Lakers have so many decisions. Do they go with one of their own, bring back like a Byron Scott or a Kurt Rambis or somebody who starred for them with the Showtime teams in the 80s? Do they go for a more established name like a George Karl or a Jeff Van Gundy? Or do they look for a hotshot NBA assistant coach type? I mean, there's just so many opportunities right now. And I think a lot of it might be tied to their draft picks. The lottery is in 3 weeks. If they shoot up the number one somehow, maybe they go for a bigger name. If they drop in the lottery to 7, 8, or 9, maybe they go for kind of a 2-year fix and give a big-name assistant a chance to show what he can do. Any
chance Steve Kerr is considered for this job?
You know, he and Phil Jackson are obviously so tight. I just can't see him saying no to the Knicks. You know, I'd probably agree with the 69% of the people who say the Lakers cannot be fixed next season. You know, this is not really an ideal coaching spot for at least 1 year. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you look at the free agents of this summer, you're looking at Kyle Lowry, Luol Deng. There's no one really that's going to help the Lakers' fortunes overnight. You're going to have a 36-year-old Kobe Bryant, maybe Pau Gasol, maybe not Pau Gasol, and Steve Nash, who's due almost $10 million next season.
Yikes.
If they do not buy him out. This is not an ideal situation for next season. So it's a weird spot for the Lakers, to say the least.
Where do you think they go free agency-wise? And like who is going to be there that helps them next year and then in 3 years down the road?
Yeah, I think this summer their Hail Mary is LeBron opts out and wants to play for the Lakers. Obviously, Hail Marys connect, 1% of the time, something like that. So I'm not predicting that's going to happen. I think they punt this offseason. I think they get a lot of one-year contract guys, kind of like they just went through. That obviously worked out well. And I think next year you're looking at a Kevin Love, maybe LeBron opts out a year from now, and then in 2 years they're going to be looking at Kevin Durant. So the package for the Lakers is really the two Kevins, but that's 1 year and then 2 years away. It's going to be another long season. Whoever coaches this team starting 6 months from now.
He's Mike Bresnahan, LA Times Laker beat writer, joining us. Dan Patrick Show. You bring up that let's go through another season like this. If I said to the Lakers privately, the front office, hey, you're not going to make the playoffs, you're going to be back in the lottery again next year, you think they would be upset with that?
No, I think this whole lottery thing is actually not part of their plan. They did not expect to have, what they're slotted to be right now, the 6th overall pick in the draft. It's kind of gravy for them. They did expect to have to be active in free agency. Not necessarily this summer with no huge names on the horizon. But if they're in the lottery 2 years in a row, I think they'd be okay with that, actually. Because, again, they're already punting next season as of now and looking towards 2015, 2016.
When you think of Magic Johnson, you think of the Lakers, obviously the Dodgers, but you think of the Lakers, and then here he is, at least rumored out there that he is interested in buying the Clippers. How does that go over with Laker fans?
You know, Dan, they're down and they're getting kicked again. I mean, to see Magic Johnson kind of throw his name in the hat, even though he denied his interest in buying the Clippers, it's pretty evident he'd be the best choice. He's got experience already in helping the Guggenheim partners purchase the Dodgers a couple years ago. He'd be an easy fit for the Clippers with Guggenheim's backing. Those guys are multi-billionaires. And it's an easy fix to have him purchase the Clippers. And to be honest, he's so anti-Laker these days that he's kind of turned off a few Laker followers. I mean, I got some emails today. People were not really happy to see him on Twitter last night, kind of gleefully reveling in the fact that D'Antoni was gone. Some people thought it was unprofessional. And you know, it's been an interesting couple of years for Magic. He's so public now with his TV appearances and being on Twitter that he has turned off some Laker fans. And this would probably be the last, the ultimate indignancy, if that's a word, for Laker fans.
Yeah, it bothered me that you kind of revel in somebody being fired. You know, let D'Antoni take his pride and leave instead of saying, you know, great day and thrilled, you know, that Mike D'Antoni is shown the door. I was kind of surprised at that, and let him have his moment where he moves on. It was stacked against him. He wasn't the right coach, roster, all of that, injuries, everything went wrong. So let him get out the door.
Yeah, you know, Dan, I know the Lakers were privately surprised at that tweet as well. And like I said, Laker fans kind of think Magic is trolling them at this point. Now let's be honest. So Laker fans did not want to see D'Antoni return. So privately, they're probably on the side of Magic's tweet. They just thought that was a little out of left field, and were not really supportive of Magic being so public in his criticism of of pretty much the whole D'Antoni run the last two seasons.
Before I let you go, you know, the NBA and covering, it's a small world, especially when you're a beat writer. Why is it that everybody knew about Donald Sterling, but nobody knew about Donald Sterling? Apparently the players didn't know about him, or Doc Rivers didn't know just, you know, what kind of person he was. But now after the fact, you know, LeBron said he didn't consider the Clippers because of Donald Sterling. Everybody seems to know now, but nobody knew then. Why?
Yeah, it's a great question. Really, the best question of all this is, how come no one came public in the last 30 years? I mean, Mark Jackson, before the Clippers played the Warriors the other night, he played for the Clippers in the early to mid-'90s. He said he had no inclination, no idea that Sterling had these views. And Kobe, let's remember, almost signed with the Clippers 10 years ago when he was a free agent. And then, you know, the other night he says, bravo, Silver, for hammering Sterling. So it's one of the weirdest things. People kind of knew about it, but now say they kind of didn't know about it, but kind of say they did know about it. So this story just keeps folding back on itself, and it's one of the most fascinating stories, and obviously sad stories in LA sports history.
What about the time frame to buy a team? If we were just looking at a normal process here, I know the Bucks just did this with their sale, but to sell the Clippers, obviously you need to have a willing seller. We don't have that, I don't think. But how long do you think this process takes?
I could see the Clippers say, you know, within a couple of weeks, Sterling is told to sell the team, and he does not sue. That's the key thing. If he willingly says, okay, I'll sell, I could see a new owner in place by the time next season begins, but will Sterling sue? He's a big he's big in the courts out here, that's for sure, and I don't see him and his wife, who's also part of the Sterling Trust that owns the Clippers, I do not see them going quietly in the night as of this point.
Great stuff, Mike, as always. Great to hear from you. Thanks. We appreciate it.
Anytime, Dan.
Mike Bresnahan, LA Times, covering the Lakers.